What's going on, guys? Welcome to Friday. So yesterday's video would have been Thursdays, obviously Thursdays. I talked about how Konami continues to mess with the ban list and blah blah blah, and how I wanted to do another ban list video. So I figured I would just do it today. Obviously here I've got the forbidden, limited, semi-limited, and unlimited. I would like to start with the new things that I think will or should go on the list, and then we'll come back with the things that are probably okay to come off. The last time I did one of these, I talked about Colossus coming off. I had some comments about there's no way, blah, 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 and it still came off. I'm not saying I'm good at this, but, you know, actually, I'm just playing. Anyway, I want to start with the cards that I think can be banned. I've got a list here in front of me, sorry. So one of the first cards that I think can be banned is the original Sinful Spoils. This card is just stupid. It is a one-card searcher, as well as pretty much allowing you to do whatever you want, sending a card and adding Poplar and then having full combo. This card getting banned hurts Snake Eye. Obviously, I think Snake Eye is the problem. I think without Snake Eye, or with Snake Eye being a little bit more limited in this format, it would be more balanced and a much healthier format overall. So that's where I wanted to start. Most decks are playing this at 1, so putting this at 1 would do nothing, but we're going to start there. The next thing that I think could be banned, and I had this in my last video as well, is the Gimmick Puppet. I did get Puppet locked at YCS Indy. It did not matter. I was playing Runic Stun. I was like, okay, sure. And I went through and did my spells and traps and pretty much called it a day, leaving that card on my field. It didn't bother me. I mean, I'm not playing Sky Striker, which skips my turn. I'm not playing a heavy special summoning deck. I'm playing Runic Stun. So it really didn't do a whole lot against me. However, other decks, it does a lot against. I do not like turn skips in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part, because the formats that we play in, turn skips just win you the game. This is an example, and then one of the cards I'm going to talk about here in a moment is another example. But yeah, I mean, this is a branded turn skip. It's just, branded's pretty good as it is. Why are we going to give them something that allows us to turn skip? I don't know, but a lot of people are still playing this. The next is another turn skip, except this time for Flu. I think this card has been out long enough. It's the reason Flu's topping. Flu already has Shifter, which against a lot of decks is another turn skip. I could see Shifter getting hit. I'm not saying anything. But it would. I don't think Shifter would be banned, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunate for me, but unfortunately for you all. A lot of you all want to see Shifter banned. I just don't see it happening. I mean, we'll talk about it here in a few minutes. But another card, if they don't do anything else with these, is the World... Sorry, forgot. Is the World Sea Zealantis. I can see this card getting banned. It's really what allows the Raging Phoenix combo. This hits Tempai as well as Snake Eye. That's the reason I can still seeing this get banned, even with the original hit, because it hits Tempai too. If you Dimensional Barrier Tempai, they have a link play, obviously. Most people know this now. Hida into Princess, Princess into Raging Phoenix to Zealantis, and then bring everything back. So, I think this is a Tempai hit as much as it is a Snake Eyes hit, and I think Tempai getting the new monsters here in the coming weeks is going to make it a little bit more consistent. However, I don't think it's going to be consistent enough for me to play the deck. I've actually sold the deck in favor of some other options. But it's a World Sea is definitely a card that I think will get hit or should get hit because of that. That's actually all I have for the ban cards. Next, I would like to do the limited cards that will go to 1, and I think Flamberge is the first one on that list. If you look, and I talked about this yesterday in my video, if you look at all the top 4 decks from Indy, all of them are Snake Eye, and every deck is playing 2 Flamberge. It gets really hard to play the deck with only 1 Flamberge if you open it. One of my friends, Cody, said that, well, I mean, you play so many outs. We've talked about it before. Like, you're playing 3 Imperm, you're playing Ghost Spell, you're playing Call By, you're playing blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. But if you only have 1, it's much harder to do the combos. And it makes it simplifies the game state. You can still do your combo with 1 Flamberge, and I still have to have the Imperm. It's just now it is a brick. And I think that would really hurt Snake Eye. And if what I've seen is correct, Snake Eye Ash is getting an ulti. That's the reason I'm not going to touch it here. I don't think Konami, because that is a Konami product, is going to hit a card immediately after an ulti printing or immediately after a reprint if they're wanting to sell those sets. I think that if we want Ash hit, we're going to be talking like December. 2 more OTS sets down the line. But we've seen weirder things because they printed Fusion Destiny as an ulti and then immediately hit it. So we've seen it. Next on that list, everybody's favorite splashable engine, I think Fenrir goes to 1. Fenrir at 1 does a lot of things. Now no deck other than Kashtira can play Fenrir. What's the point? Unless you're playing a Fenrir package. This is a Snake Eye cash hit as well as a pure cash hit. It sort of sucks. Pure Cash is okay, but it's sort of going to catch us straight here. Snake Eye Cash is just so good. They can play around not having the other stuff. I think Fenrir to 1 limits what they can do and sort of changes things. You can put Fenrir to 1 without touching Theosis. You can put Fenrir to 1 without touching Planet. But I think Fenrir to 1 is probably the correct call. New things to 2. Everybody wants a Runic hit. I don't think you're going to get the Runic hit you want. I think it's going to be like tip to 2, and that's it. Just being honest with you. If Runic gets hit at all, it's going to be something slight. Runic is not that big of a problem. The reason you're seeing Runic Stun win so much is because you're playing against pure Snake Eye players and voiceless players. With Runic Stun doing what we're doing, I mean, I have it literally practicing off to the side here, like you can see. With Runic Stun doing what we're doing, it already struggles, just being honest with you. I went 5-4 at Indy. There were only 2 that made top 32. Yes, one of them was undefeated through Swiss. That's amazing. But it's not a wildly crazy deck. People get mad at Skill Drain, actually, but Skill Drain's fair. Like, there are so many ways to play against it, so many outs, and that's not just because I'm a helmet player trying to defend it. I mean, even Kashtira can play things like Draco Sack that resolves in the graveyard. Pankratops is at 2. You can play Pankratops that resolves in the graveyard. Like, there are so many ways to play, just being honest with you. I do have one more card, new card, to 2. And I think Saphira could go to 2. I don't think they're going to hit low. I don't think they're going to hit Diviner. I think Saphira to 2 almost makes you play a little weird. I did forget a band card. I'll get it 1 second. I think Saphira to 2 almost makes you play weird and voiceless, because now, like, if you're against Shifter, it's not nearly as good. If you're playing the pure version, you really want to have the 3 there. Like, it's just a really, really good card. If they hit Voiceless, I think it's something weird. I just do. So if they hit the Voiceless, I can see them doing Saphira to 2 just because I think it's a weird hit. Back to the ban card that I forgot about. My little brother called this out is Beatrice. I think they're going to ban Beatrice preemptively with the Fiendsmith coming out and some of the other things I have actually coming on my list here. I can see Beatrice getting just hit preemptively. So what it does is it's going to send the card from your deck to your graveyard. That's pretty good for Fiendsmith because you want some stuff in the grave. But I can also see this being like, not really a lab hit, but anything that can make a 6 and send transaction rollback. I thought they were going to preemptively ban Beatrice before this, but they didn't. So that's about it. But that's actually all of the new cards. I've only got 9 in terms of new stuff. Now let's talk about the things that I think can come off the ban list. So going from banned to limited, I've got Block Dragon. I think Block Dragon could come unlimited with an errata of once per turn. The hard once per turn. But I think right now Block Dragon can come back to 1 in general, not causing any issues. Just being honest with you. The next card I have coming back to 1 is also another B card. It is Barrage. I think Barrage can come back to 1 without causing anything major in the meta. I was bouncing back and forth with this or Trident. I think Barrage is the safer one to come back first and then see how the meta sort of goes. With Konami, they want the meta to be diverse. They want different things to be happening, but they don't want too much to happen. We've seen that with some of these larger ban lists. We get a small ban list and then they do a huge one. But I think Barrage can come back to 1. Now we've got 1 more, and then I'm going to do some more monsters. I still think Reboot can come back to 1. Even as a trap player, I think Reboot's more than fair. It's one of those things, if you're going to pay half your life points, you better kill me, or as a trap player, I'm going to beat you. So I think Reboot's pretty fair, but Konami doesn't like anything that can play from the hand just by paying life points, but they literally printed the card. Reboot to 1 makes a lot of sense. Labyrinth is still topping. It just topped YCS Indy. Again, top 8. A lot of other trap decks like Runic Stun, so if we don't see anything getting hit with Runic or a single card like Tip, I can see Reboot coming back to sort of appease that player base. One of the other things that can come back is Meow. I said this last time, I'm pretty sure. Like, Prank Kids isn't being played. 1 Meow's not going to do much. It's just their normal combo takes 1 at least. Like, this card at 1 would be okay. And I played Prank Kids. It was a pretty decent deck, but without 2 to 3 Meow, like, the deck is still not good. The deck's still not good. And then this one's a little bit of copium for me. I would love Sprite Elf to come back, even at 1. Where's it at? Sorry. I think Sprite Elf can come back to 1. I understand that helps Tier also, but Tier hasn't really had a whole lot of hasn't had a whole lot of anything. We talked about, me and my buddies talked about Kit Kalos coming back. I don't see that happening. I do see Block Dragon and Elf before I see Kit Kalos coming back. But Elf would help Tier as well as helping the Sprite engine, especially with the new Sprite support coming out in June, July with the Battles of Legends set. I think Elf would be a good card to allow to come back. And again, I'm going to preface this with, I don't expect a ban list before July. I don't expect a ban list before Nationals, but you never know what's going to happen. That's it for Limited. Now, things coming back to 2. I think Diagram can come back to 2 and not harm the meta. I understand, like, Dinos playing the Lithosagum, Lithosagum, whatever you want to call them, combos, but Dinos are not relevant. Dinos are not very good right now, unfortunately, and Diagram's not going to do a whole lot. As a True Draco player, I'd love to see this, and by the way, I did not put Masterpiece anywhere on this list. Next, coming back to 2, I've got a couple Danger cards. I think that... Where is it at? I think Jack and Such can come back to 2 without it causing major issues. And I'm already seeing BA players or, let's just be honest, Goblin Biker players like my little brother. I'm already seeing him smile, not even watching the video. I can see these cards coming back to 2. It's not gonna change the meta like insanely. If anything, it's gonna help decks like Thunder when you just gave Colossus back. And yeah. Another card I can see coming back to 2 because I don't know why they put it at really 1. I think 2 would have been the perfect number to begin with is Shavara. With the Fiendsis stuff coming back, if you preemptively ban the Beatrice, you can allow Shavara to come back to 2. This would do multiple things. It would help Unchained Yubel. It would help Pure Unchained as well as helping the new Fiendsmith stuff. So Shavara to 2 wouldn't do that bad. And then I have said this the last 2 times, I think Called by Tattoo would be okay. Called by Tattoo just allows the format to be a little bit more diversified instead of having to worry about a cross out. Now I have to worry about 2 called by. Makes me think about my plays a little bit more, maybe even play a little bit more defensive and slow down the format. Called by Tattoo, I think, is appropriate. That's all I've got for the 2s. I have 2 cards coming unlimited, and I'm going to get hate for this first one. Card of Demise can come to 2, or come to unlimited, sorry. It has a restriction. You can only activate once per turn. Like, you can only activate 1 card of Demise per turn. So it's got a hard once per turn on it. So as long as they don't negate the activation, you can only do 1. And you can't special summon. So I generally don't like cards with double drawbacks like Lightning Storm. Card of Demise can come to 3 and not change the meta at all. I think even in my Runic Stun build, I would still only play 2. And I've already changed my build. I'm already testing new things. But Card of Demise to 3 would be okay. And for the last thing, Pankratops, if he's not already at 3, because I just can't remember, Pankratops can come to 3. It's not going to do anything. Cash can play 3 if they want to play 3. It would help the people who complain about skill drain. It would just do a lot for the meta. With that being said, that's really all the takes, all of the opinions that I have. Just keep my receipts if you want. But I see a lot of this. A lot of this is very realistic. But I appreciate all the love, all the support for the channel. Keep reaching out, keep commenting, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep asking for videos. I'll make sure that I hit those. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next week.